Hello Libra people, before we get into this week's energy, I do want to mention quickly that if you are looking for something more personal, we offer both chart reading, love compatibility analysis, yearly and monthly forecast, and question-based guidance where I can look directly at your chart and answer what is your actually going on in your life. The WhatsApp link is in the description if you want to reach out. Now let's talk about what is coming up for Libra, because honestly this strength from April 26th through the end of the month is carrying some of the most layered energy I have seen in a while. It is not just a two transit doing the work, there is a holistic or planetary movement happening in close succession. And for Libra specifically, they are all touching areas that matters deeply to you. Your sense of direction, your relationship, and the parts of yourself you have been quietly avoiding. Today, let's start on April 26th with the sun making contact with the nodes. What I am noticing here is that this creates what I did call a karmic pressure point. It is not a dramatic necessarily, but there is a strong pull toward decision that feel weightier than usual. For Libra, this often shows up as a moment where you can no longer sit comfortably on the fence. The sun node alignment tends to surface what you have been circling around, and the events that come up around this time often carry that this was supposed to happen. Feeling it's not random, pay attention to what shifts, who reached out, what conversation comes up out to nowhere. April 26, Mercury make a conjunction with Jupiter, and this one I really want you to lean into. Based on this transit, your thinking expands. Big ideas come through your mind. You might find yourself in conversation that opens a door you were not expecting. Something career related or connected to your long-term vision. Mercury-Jupiter combination are excellent for networking, for putting your ideas out into the world, for learning something that reshapes how you think things. The one thing I do say with Libra here is what's the tendency to overcome it. Jupiter has a way of making everything feel manageable in the moment, and Mercury can run ahead of itself, make the connection, explore the idea, but hold off on locking anything in until you have sat with it. Also on April 26th, Venus is forming an aspect with Neptune, and this is where things get a little complicated for you, for Libra and Libra people. Venus is your ruling planet, so any Venus transit hits differently for you that it does for other signs. Venus-Neptune energy is dreamy, soft, deeply romantic, and also genuinely difficult to see clearly through. What I am seeing for Libra here is that there is a potential for a really magnificent emotional or romantic experience. But there is also a risk of seeing a situation as you want it to be rather than how it actually is. If someone from your past resurfaces around this time, or if a connection suddenly feels more intense and magical than usual, slow down before you make any decision. Assumptions that feeling might be real, but Neptune has a way of casting a beautiful fog, and clarity wouldn't come till that fog lifts. Then we move into April 28, and this is honestly the most intense cluster of the week. The moon enters Libra. Venus makes contact with both Pluto and the nodes, and Mars aligned with Lilith. That is a lot of happening in a short window. The moon entering Libra on April 28 acts like a reset for your emotional state. After a few days of external pressure and dreamy confusion, you start to come back to yourself. What I am noticing here is that this is an energy of wanting to feel balanced again, wanting your relationship to make sense, wanting to be seen for who you actually are. Use this window to recalibrate. It is a good time to set a boundary you have been putting off, or to have a direct conversation you have been softening. At the same time, Venus is moving into aspect with Pluto and the nodes. This combination is heavy. Venus Pluto is one of the more transformative romantic transit, and it tends to bring things to a head for Libra. A relationship that has been as a kind of quiet standoff might suddenly become impossible to avoid. Feeling intensify, attraction becomes magnetic. Old connection might resurfaces with a karmic weight to them. What I want you to understand about this transit is that Pluto doesn't do gradual. It tends to strip away what is not real and leave what is that can feel destabilizing, but what comes through it is usually more honest than what you had before. The Venus node involvement adds a fated quality to whatever relationship dynamics are surfacing. If someone step into your life right now, or if something ends today, I pay close attention to the timing. Alongside all of this, Mars is forming an aspect with Lilith on April 28th. This one is a subtle for worth knowing about. What tends to come with Mars Lilith is an inner restlessness, a feeling that something you have been suppressing wants out. For Libra, this might show up as frustration with a situation where you have been too, accommodation or a sudden clarity about a desire you have been talking about yourself out of. The constructive use of this energy is honesty with yourself. Don't act impulsively on it, but don't push it back down either. Let it inform you. By April 30th, the moon moves into Scorpio from Libra, and the emotional tone shifts into something deeper and more inwards. Scorpio mean transits are not comfortable, but they are useful. What I am saying here for Libra is a period of genuine transpection around trust. Who do you actually trust? Where do you feel financially or emotionally secure? And where do you feel exposed? There are may something under the surface regarding money or shared resources that gets your attention now. This is not the time to distract yourself from those questions. Let yourself sit with them. What traces through this entire stretch for Libra is transformation, not the kind that it is announced or obvious, but a kind that moves through your relationships, your inner world, and your sense of direction in ways that act gradually become undeniable. The career and money picture is actually solid right now from 25th April to 30th April, but it rewards thoughtfulness over impulse. The romantic and relationship energy is intense and charged, and it's asking you to stop avoiding the parts of your emotional life that need your honest attention between 25th and 30th April. What I keep coming back to with Libra this week is that the planets are less asking you to make something happen and more asking you to stop preventing things from happening. There is a version of this week where a lot shifts quietly but permanently that is worth paying attention to. So that's it for Libra people. I'll catch you later with new horoscope prediction. Till then, bye bye. See you soon.